Hi there, Summoners. GuardianE here with another live reaction and first impression video for Fire Emblem Heroes. Tonight we should be getting the reveal of the next set of new heroes to drop into the game in just a couple of days. Now, usually we get around this time a midpoint banner, so a midpoint for the book, which historically has included a mythic banner introduction on the new hero banner amidst a bunch of other new heroes from another title. So I would expect that to be the same here. We could potentially see Seithr's sister, possibly Nerthus's brother. That's another possibility. As far as the other heroes are concerned, I'm going to go ahead and just guess we're getting an Engage banner because it's been forever since we've gotten an Engage banner. And here we go. Wait for that HUD to leave, and let's see what they got for us. So, oh, it's an Ascended hero. Okay. Man, it's been forever since we've gotten an Ascended hero, too. I thought we... Is that Fir? Swordmaiden?
I'm not finished yet.
Wow. That's not what I was expecting at all. Ascended Fir? Really? Vassal Saint Steel, Glimmer, attack speed, finish 4, Fizz Null follow. Okay. Huh. Okay, that's a pretty cool strike. I like that for the killing blow. New heroes join the battle. Alright, so it is going to be a Binding Blade banner as a whole. So Mercenary-Errant. And this is going to be Noah as a Cavalry Lancer. Okay, alright. What's he got? Ilian Merclance, Flow Guard 3, Alarm Speed Defense, alright. So some new skills to look at and evaluate as a whole. Okay, yeah. Devoted Archer. So this is going to be Dorothy? Yeah, Dorothy, who is going to be an Infantry Archer. Infantry Archer. And she is going to be the 4-star focus unit of the banner. Defier's Bow Plus, and Ideal, and Oath. A bunch of stepping stone skills, and so... Oh, okay, alright, so yes, it is going to be a midpoint, and it is going to have a mythic hero, and it is going to be Innocent Goddess, the sister of Heidr. So it's going to be Heidr. That art is absolutely spectacular. Yoshiku knocking it out of the park with this book. Absolutely incredible. Amazing, amazing art. So she is going to be a Green Tome user. Okay. Heidr, Gold Serpent is going to be her unique assist. Magic Follow-Up, I think, was the B slot. Alright. Nice little bubbly attack animation. I like it. Alright, new story chapter, Ouroboros. So that's full of surprises. Anything here of note? Okay, there is going to be a new Infantry Axe unit there. So, and then wait, is that also a new Cleric? Wait, who's the Cleric? There's a new Cleric and a new Axe unit here. Dorothy's not on the map for whatever reason. That's kind of weird. So maybe one of these is going to be like the Grand Hero battle. I don't know. That's kind of unusual, actually. Yeah, typically we wouldn't see two mysterious units on the final map. But new heroes are here. So new heroes and Mythic Heiðr starting on the 8th of June and presumably going for an entire month. Dorothy is going to be the 4-star focus unit of the banner. Even color distribution across. The Mythic hero Heidr is going to be the green on the banner. Ascended hero Fir is going to be the red unit on the banner. So these are always pretty high value as a whole. As a new hero banner, you've got the Spark, which is available for everybody, not just FEH Pass users. You have an Ascended hero here. You also have a Mythic hero here, and that alone provides a lot of value for that guaranteed Spark. I feel like it's been a little while since we've gotten a new Ascended hero. The last Ascended hero was what, Alencia, I think? But then I think before that there was like a little bit of a drought. So, yeah, maybe they're kind of bringing back the Ascended heroes with more frequency, because Rearms were kind of like taken over for a little bit, but maybe they'll start to start alternating back again. But yeah, I think overall it's going to be a high-value banner just from that alone. The fact that there is an Ascended hero, the fact that there is a Mythic hero, the fact that you can Spark for Heidr. That's all really, really great stuff. I would say that Ascended Fir is definitely an interesting choice. I personally am not like the most hyped for the character selection this go around, except for Heidr. I am super hyped for Heidr. But you know, that being said, I think that, you know, she looks good. I mean, the art is great for her. I think the design is awesome. She's probably going to be very, very strong as Ascended Hero. So we can take a closer look at the stats and skills. What I will just note is that this is a high-value banner, but right around the corner, I mean, later this month, we're going to get the first, what we would assume is the first summer banner of the year, because we always get 2 summer banners each year, typically, so next month is going to be another summer banner, so usually, you know, those have a lot of really popular characters with really fantastic art and skills. Just bear in mind that that is approaching. That's probably going to be a big target for a lot of people's orbs. And Choose Your Legends is not that far away. I mean, it's, again, people tend to save a lot for that that banner. Ultimately, those reveals and everything, and people like to save month after month for those types of big event banners. So again, just bear that in mind. There's a lot of stuff incoming that that is a temptation for the old Orb Reserve. So, but that notwithstanding, let's go ahead and take a closer look at Ascended Fir, Mythic Heiðr, and the rest of the crew here. So Ascended Fir, once again, not really what I was expecting, but I think she looks great. I think the artist did a fantastic job of capturing this a more mature air to her, some more sophistication, a little bit more reserved nature to her as a whole. She looks measured, she looks steadfast, but has a little smirk to her as well. The outfit is stylish. I like the high collar, the rest of the robes kind of flowing around her that resembles traditional samurai garb. The sashes around her belt line. Really like the different shades of blue, the patterning on the hem and the lining of the outfit, the skirt, as well as around the jacket sleeves as well. Really, really nice. So Fir comes with Vassal Saint Steel, 16 might, killer slaying effect. At start of turn, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25% and unit special cooldown count is at its max value, grant special cooldown count -1 to unit. Okay. Getting a nice little pulse in there. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants +5 to all stats. Inflicts speed defense -X on foe, where X equals 11 minus foe's max special cooldown count value × 2. Alright. Min 3. Okay, so at least, it's going to be at least a speed defense -3. Alright, and then if foe does not have a special skill, penalty is 3. Okay, yep, makes sense. Reduces damage from foe's first attack by 40% during combat. Also, if unit speed is greater than or equal to foe's speed +5, neutralizes effects that inflict special cooldown charge -X on unit during combat. If unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25% at the start of combat, and unit's special cooldown count is at its max value after combat, grant special cooldown count -1 to unit after combat. So it does seem to have this consistent pulse effect. So after combat, as well as at the beginning of a turn, as long as the skill is at its max, or as long as the special is at its max value, she'll always get an additional cooldown count. And in the case of Glimmer, since it's a two cooldown special, she has a killer slaying effect, which brings it down to a one cooldown special. So that means that she's basically always going to have Glimmer at the ready. And then additionally, it does appear as though any effects that would neutralize her ability to gain special charge are also neutralized as long as she has that specific condition met, which is the speed above or equal to foe speed +5, as well as the HP equal to or above 25%. So consistently across the board, condition is easy because you just have to remember to keep her nice and healthy, and then she's probably going to be an innately speedy unit to make sure that she has the other effect in tow. For the A slot, we've got attack speed finish 4, which is going to work very, very well for a speedy sword unit. Like Fir here, so that's going to pair well so that she maximizes her speed stat to meet that condition and just do more damage and naturally double. Now, Fizz Null Follow for the B slot. Inflicts speed defense -4 on foe. So right out of the gate, it has an in-combat debuff. So we're seeing that more and more often where they're just kind of slapping an in-combat debuff to the B slot to give it more value. Like, even if the rest of the skill doesn't necessarily proc or activate or the conditions aren't met, whatever the B slot does, if it's a niche skill or if it is one that only works on one phase, whatever it might be, it seems like with the tier 4s, they're trying to just slap in this in-combat buff or debuff just so that it has some value and utility outside of that effect. So they're persisting with that here. Neutralize effects that guarantee foes follow-up attacks and prevent effects that prevent units follow-up attacks, and reduces the percentage of foes' non-special reduced damage by X% skills by 50% during combat. Example, a foe with a reduced damage by 45% skill would reduce damage by 23% instead. So this is where we're seeing damage reduction as part of the physical null follow. So it seems like this is probably going to be for physical users, right? It's going to be for melee attackers or melee and archers and dagger units, I guess. Any sort of non-magical attacks and units are going to be able to inherit this. Don't know if there's going to be any other restriction as far as movement type. If I had to guess, it's probably going to be infantry only, because they're typically the only ones that get to play around with fun toys like this. But I guess we'll have to see. Maybe infantry and armors. That could also potentially be. But yeah, I mean, it's a very, very good B-slot skill for sure. It's quite excellent. Having that in-combat debuff, the neutralization of the preventing follow-up attacks and neutralizing the guaranteeing follow-up attacks is very, very good. And then the damage reduction is just like the cherry on top. That's just going to be very helpful in making sure that she does a lot more damage. And then attack speed Oath 4 for the C slot. So, I mean, overall, she's got great stuff. I mean, her weapon is stacked. I won't say that, like, the most unique element to her weapon that is kind of uniquely hers is having the pulse effect built in, as well as the killer slaying effect. So she is really intended to really dish out the damage with her special. I think to synergize with that, it would make a lot of sense if they had given her like some sort of extra true damage on special activation or something like that. There is some nice stuff in here with like stat boosts and then in combat debuffs on the enemy to their speed and defense as well. That's uniquely situated and based upon the enemy's special stat or special cooldown, which is I guess sort of unique, but really what you're looking at is a speed defense debuff of 3, or in, I guess, the best case scenario, if the foe's max special cooldown count is 1, then it would be 2, so 2 minus 11, which would be 9. So you get speed defense minus 9, which is obviously huge. But so it's somewhere within 3 and 9 that you would end up seeing seeing that debuff come into play. Overall, I mean, it doesn't blow me away. Her kit as a whole doesn't blow me away. There is synergy here. The physical null follow for the B slot, I think, is pretty remarkable, and it's not uniquely hers. It's something that is inheritable, so that is definitely going to be a coveted skill, I feel. So here's Noah. He is going to be a cavalry blue lancer, and he's got his shiny blue armor here. Very utilitarian, not a whole lot of frills or fanciness going on here. Dark colors bordering on drab, but they do match his sort of dark violet hair. I like the utility patch strapped to his leg. Like that there's that red jewel embedded in his chest armor. I don't know. I mean, he looks all right. He looks serviceable. I think the art's decent. So Ilian Merc Lance is what he's got for his weapon. 16 might, killer slaying effect. At start of turn, if number of allies adjacent to unit is less than or equal to 2. Grants dodge and neutralizes foes' bonuses during combat to unit and support partners within 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn. If number of allies adjacent to unit is less than or equal to 1. Grants attack speed, defense res, plus 5 to unit during combat, and deals damage equal to 15% of foe's attack, including when dealing damage with a special triggered before combat. So, to me, Noah's weapon is okay. I mean, there's some nice stuff packed in here, for sure. You've got damage boosts, or stat boosts, I should say. You've got true damage built in. You've got neutralizing foes' bonuses. You've got dodge, so damage reduction built in there. You've got that killer slaying effect. So there's stuff in here to like. Just as a whole, it's not like it's not that impressive. I think overall, it doesn't kind of make its mark as a weapon. It's all stuff that we've kind of seen before in one shape or another, and it also has like a specific gimmick tied to it with support partners, where you can gain additional utility, but. You know, that in and of itself, you have to kind of build your team around that specifically to take advantage of it. And I feel like it's really not like that amazing of an effect. I mean, it's a solid effect for sure. And if you have support partners within his vicinity, they can take advantage for sure of that dodge effect and the neutralized foes bonuses. But it feels like you're jumping through a lot of hoops to get that effect, and it's not going to be universal. It's not something that you can like plop on a team or have a lot of versatility to. So I don't know. I mean, it's okay. It's all right as a weapon and its effects. We got Luna for the special, we got Flow Guard 3 for the B slot, and we got Alarm Speed Defense for the C slot. So that's going to be new. At start of turn, if number of allies adjacent to a unit is less than or equal to 2, grants Speed Defense plus 6 and Kanto to unit for 1 turn. If number of allies adjacent to unit is less than or equal to 1, grants Speed Defense plus 3 to unit during combat. So naturally, his weapon is intended to synergize with the alarm skill as his C slot as well, since it has effectively the same conditions. And so with those together, it does make for a pretty great pair, I will say. But overall, I don't think there's anything screaming, must-have out of his kit, out of his effects. The unique elements to his weapon, it's not like groundbreaking or anything. Yeah, overall, I guess I just find it a little underwhelming. The alarm skill for the C slot is definitely coveted. I think that's, as far as that tree of skills, I think it's really fantastic in what it offers. But this is going to be the speed defense variation of it, which is particularly niche. Speed defense itself is particularly niche. But yeah, I mean, overall, he's okay. So next up we got Dorothy as an infantry archer. She has an overall kind of rugged look to her outfit, very rustic in terms of the browns, the earth tones in general, utilitarian in terms of the armor components to it. She looks, again, rugged, mercenary, works well. I think her haircut is really cute. Expression on her face is nice. Looks like she's wearing pants. She's one of the few female characters in the game that is wearing pants. So if you like that, maybe that's a plus for you. But overall, the art is simple but nice. Now, Dorothy is going to be the 4-star focus unit of the banner, so she is going to be easier to get at a higher rate at 4%, or at the 4-star rate. She comes with Defier's Bow Plus, so this is going to be inheritable. It's 12 might, effective against flying foes. At start of combat, if foe's HP is greater than or equal to 75%, grants defense plus 5 to unit and inflicts defense minus 5 on foe during combat. And also, if foe has bonuses, grants bonus to unit's defense and inflicts penalty on foe's defense during combat equal to the current bonus on foe's defense, calculates each stat bonus and penalty independently. I mean, it's okay. It's alright as an inheritable bow. I mean, I think, unfortunately these days, it's hard to get excited about inheritables other than rearms, because I think rearms have kind of usurped other inheritables in terms of overall versatility and utility and power. So I don't know. I think there's even amongst like regular inheritable bows, I feel like this one doesn't really deliver in a huge way or anything. It's just kind of okay. Ardent Sacrifice for the assist, Speed Res Ideal 3, and then Attack Res Oath 3 for the C slot. So I don't know. I mean, Dorothy, she's a 4-star focus unit, so she's going to be a relatively easy merge project. She is going to be dropping into the regular summon pool as a 4-star hero. Yeah, unfortunately, I just feel there's not really a whole lot to get excited about with her kit. I feel like, even as far as stepping stone skills go, not really the most impressive selection that's there. And then the Defier's Bow is just okay. It's just okay. I feel like that's kind of with her and Noah, it's just kind of okay. I mean, obviously, the pedigree between those two is very, very different because she's a 4-star focus unit, he's a 5-star. But I think it's relatively blasé as far as a kid is concerned. Now, what is not blasé is Heidr, and Heidr looks fantastic. She is going to be an infantry green tome unit, and of course, she is going to be a mythic hero, and a mythic hero that you can spark for. So that in and of itself has a lot of value built into her as a whole. I think she looks fantastic. The art is amazing. Love the little colorful rainbow bubbles all around. The iridescent sheen that she has, not only to her hair, like look at just how it shines and shimmers, and then the sleeves that have this kind of, again, this sort of rainbow effect built into them. It has this kind of mystical allure to it. She has the glowing tips of her hair that's flared out, and her twin tails, the heterochromia, obviously really appealing as well as a whole. The designs for this book as a whole have all been very, very attractive. Heidr is absolutely no exception to that whatsoever. I think she looks fantastic. And yeah, worth summoning for that art alone, before we even take a look at her skills. So Heidr comes with Heidr, 14 might, it's going to be a green tome, has a killer slaying effect. If a rally assist skill is used by unit or target's unit, inflicts -4 to all stats and guard on foes in cardinal directions of unit and a target through their next actions. Okay, if unit initiates combat or is within 2 space of an ally, grants +5 to all stats, deals damage equal to 15% of unit's attack, excluding AoE specials, and reduces damage from foes' first attack by 30% during combat. I think overall that's a surprisingly tame set of values for a Mythic Hero weapon, but I also know that she has her own unique assist. So I don't really love the whole snag effect where you have to use an assist and then cardinal direction effects. I feel like that has a very niche usage overall. But before we pass judgment on that, let's see what Gold Serpent is. So Gold Serpent is her unique assist. Grants the following effect to unit and target ally for 1 turn. From turn 1 on, grants attack speed plus X, where X equals the number of turns times 2, max 8. Okay? From turn 2 on, enables Kanto 1. From turn 3 on, grants Treachery. And from turn 4 on, grants Dual Strike. Grants another action to unit. Additional action and effects other than stat boost granted once per turn only. This skill treated as a rally assist skill. Huh. That is so interesting. So it's an assist that gets more powerful as the turns pass. That's really unique. Once you pass turn 4, you get all of the effects of this assist whenever it's used, including granting a self-refresh to Heidr, so that she can use the assist, get the effect of Heidr's, snag effect, and then do another action. That's really interesting. If you use this on turn 4, you get attack speed plus 8, Kanto 1, Treachery, Dual Strike, and Heidr self-refreshes after using the assist. And both she and her target get all of these effects. That's nutso. That's crazy. It's one of these skills that just amps up over time as the turns pass. And once it reaches turn 4, it's busted. The other really interesting thing about this is that this skill is treated as a rally assist skill. So despite the self-refresh that it invokes, that does mean that she can be danced, or she should be able to be danced, because it's not like she has a sing or dance assist. It is a rally assist. That's what it counts as. So despite it being a self-refresh, that does mean, of course, that she can be danced. Now, the effects that she gets if she moves on and does Gold Serpent to somebody else, the additional action and effects other than stat bonuses are only granted once. So she can only do that to one ally. When she moves on to the other ally, they'll get the stat bonuses, but not all of these other effects. Not the Treachery, not the Dual Strike, not the Kanto. So just I guess worth bearing that in mind. But that's such a unique assist, and of course it's going to synergize with the guard effect as well as the debuff that she inflicts on the enemy with Heidr whenever she actually uses the assist too. Remote Sparrow for the A slot, going to be +7 to attack and speed when she's initiating combat, and then 30% damage reduction on the foe's first attack, which is going to synergize with Heidr, because Heidr also has a 30% damage reduction from the first attack, so it's not going to be additive, it's going to be multiplicative, but they are going to stack, and she's going to enjoy some additional damage reduction there. So Magic Null Follow, a very similar effect to the physical version that we saw earlier with Fir. So it's interesting that they're actually debuting both of these skills, both the physical and the magic versions of it. And then Panic Smoke 4 for the C slot as well. So that is really, really interesting. Her kit is just so unique. I mean, Gold Serpent, once it's fully powered up, just stacks so many ridiculous bonuses. Packed into one assist, one rally assist like that, it's bonkers. And that may even lead to some stalling strategies, so that after a certain number of turns, and it's not like it caps out and resets. Once it reaches 4 turn on, anything after turn 4, she has all of the effects for the remainder of the battle. So again, I mean, it's just such a potent and powerful ability. It is the crown jewel of her kit for sure. Heidr the weapon has good stuff in it. I'm not saying it doesn't, but it kind of pales in comparison to Gold Serpent and what Gold Serpent provides. So being able to use Gold Serpent and then self-refresh and then act afterwards is really, really strong. That's a really strong combination of things, because the snag effect, that's built into her weapon, one of the issues that I have with that on the B slot skill is that it's using up your turn for that rally or for that movement-based assist. And because of that, you're only getting the effect of that skill if you do that and effectively, quote-unquote, waste your turn doing that. But Heidr doesn't have to worry about that, because she is going to probably every single turn use Gold Serpent, because she's going to get another action by default every single time. So there's no reason to not use Gold Serpent. And so that really kind of obviates that whole sort of downside to the snag ability. So yeah, I think she's just uniquely positioned to be a lot of fun to play with. I think there's a lot of fun elements to her kit. I think it's unique. It's really, really appealing. I think it's going to be really, really powerful too, because once she reaches turn 4, there's just so much stuff. There's so much stuff that's dangerous, that she grants not only to herself but to her ally too, which is a double threat. So I saw that they just dropped this Midpoint trailer, this CG scene. So I figured we can watch this while it's fresh. Okay, we got Gullveig approaching her younger self, and then we got Seithr and Heidr. Oh, okay. It's trying to heal her. And the gold effect taking over. Oh no, is she gonna act as like a conduit for Gullveig? Oh no! Oh, okay. Alright, Northus is making another appearance. Is she gonna power us up? Okay. Oh, so she powers up Seithr. Yo, she's going Super Saiyan. Uh-huh. Interesting. Huh. So it's like dancing between Seithr, her younger self, Gullveig. I don't know. I'm curious. And then the Golden Curse, does it envelop Seithr then? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the shot that Gullveig did with the summoner with Kieran did to Seithr. And then like it does look like Heidr might be, since she's cursed, it looks like she kind of acted as sort of a conduit for Gullveig to launch an attack. Something like that. I don't know. I'm curious. I'm eager to see where the story goes. We'll see how it plays out. Yeah, sorry, I got a little distracted by the notification prompt that I saw there was another video that went live. So anyway, new Heroes and Mythic Heiðr starting on the 8th of June. Like I said, going for probably an entire month. There's no real rush to summon on this banner. Again, we're going to see what the summer units are before this banner leaves. So there's plenty of time. There's not really a rush. Me personally, I think there is a lot of value here for 2 of the units. Unfortunately, I feel like Dorothy and Noah really kind of drag this thing down. I don't think they're really that remarkable. But you can snipe on red, you can snipe on green, and try to go for Heidr and Fir. I think Heidr in particular is really the standout. I think she's just, as a mythic hero, as a limited unit, beautiful character design as a whole. But just generally speaking, like what she offers is so unique and sort of interesting to play around with as a mechanic. That's what really appeals to me. And then, Ascended Fir has some good stuff built into her too. Again, I feel like Noah and Dorothy a little bit lackluster, but they're just kind of regular units, kind of along for the ride here, unfortunately. But I think that this is not a bad banner to summon on. I think there is value here, especially just guaranteeing yourself the Heidr, especially if you're not a Fate Pass user. Being able to guarantee yourself a Mythic Hero is not a bad option. But I also think that it's prudent to wait and see what's coming around the corner as far as the summer units batch 1, and see if that strikes your fancy, see if the Mythic Hero strikes your fancy, because this banner is going to be around for both of those. For me personally, there's a good chance that I'm just going to summon for Heidr anyway. Despite me saying what I just said, I might just end up going in for Heidr just because I want her. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling when the banner actually drops, but more likely than not, before this banner leaves, I'm going to have Heidr in my barracks. So, but let me know in the comments below what you think about this banner, the units themselves. If you were expecting Ascended Fir, or if you were expecting Heidr, and if you are summoning on this one, then who your targets are going to be. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more Fire Emblem Heroes content. We thank you all so much for watching, for taking time out of your day to spend with us. We really do appreciate it. And until next time, let's protect those skies.